In this video, we will continue with compound angle formula. You will find this on page 445 in the Namibian AS-Level Mathematics textbook y equals mx+c to success. Find the value of cos a plus b and sin a minus b given cos a and sin b. Okay, let's look at this example. So, if I give you that cos a is 8 over 17 and sin b is negative 3 over 5. Remember, I want you to take note. This is a and this is b, so it's different. Do you see that? And that a and b lie in the same quadrant. Find the value of. Okay, now this is very important. If they are in the same quadrant, think of your cast diagram. Here's your cast. Now, cos is positive. Now, cos is positive there. Do you agree? That too. Sin is negative. So, sin is negative where? Sin is negative there, but I must see where this is almost like where this is where cos is positive, and this is where sin is negative. And I must see where they overflow. And there, where they overflow, then this, it will be in this quadrant. Okay, and that's basically. So in the fourth quadrant, the cosine function will be positive and this sin, but you can just do it with that lines. Now, remember it's two different values, so it's two different graphs. So make a one for cos A and make one for sin according to, because you can work all of them out. But if you have cos, okay, in this one, cos is adjacent, there is adjacent, over hypotenuse. Okay, and now remember, this is underneath, so that's why it's negative. How did I get the 15? I just work with Pythagorean theorem. So it's 17 squared minus 8 squared, square root, and remember, on top it will be positive, below it will be negative. Okay, so I draw this graph. Then I draw another one. So this is my graph. I just want to see if this is a typing. Because this is, oh, no, this is my cast. Okay, cast. So this is my one for A, and this is one for B. That A is for all. Okay. So now I sin. Sin is opposite over hypotenuse. So the negative goes here, again it's underneath. How do I work out the 4? Pythagorean theorem. Okay. And then, so now I have basically my graph and I can work with any function, two graphs. So if I start and I say find cos A plus B, don't forget your compound. If it's compound, it's going to the opposite, but it's starting cos A, cos B. Then if this is plus, this go minus, sin A, sin B. And then I just, when I come to A, so remember, this is my A graph, and this is my B graph. And I basically just substitute, according to this, substitute, and then simplify. That's how I do it. Don't forget, now I'm bringing back the sin. Can you remember sin? The signs will be the same, but then it's sin A, cos B. Cos A, sin B. So please, you can go to your formula sheet also to recall that. And again, so as soon as I see sin A, I go to my A. I'm just going to show you this one. So sin is opposite over hypotenuse, and that's where I come to that one. Okay, and then I just multiply and I just find my answers. I want to move up. Before I'm going to give you an example to do, I just want you to, okay, let's just quickly check here. I just want to show you, why didn't I make it small? I can just leave it the size. Okay, so if you can work it out, but it's very, so Pythagorean triples are very useful, and knowing and recognizing them means you can determine the length of missing side of a right angle by inspection. The following is sum of common ones. So if you just know the commons, you know the 3, 4, and 5. But if you know the 5, 12, and 13, the 17, 24, and 25, 8, 15, 17, 9, 14, and then the multiples. Okay, I want you to stop the video and I want you to do number 2. I want you first to leave out C, and in a reprint I will first leave it out. The reason why is that I'm going to do the compound angles of tan after this video. So just do number 2, A and B first scratch C, I will just take it out in a reprint. Okay, again, you can continue the video as soon as you are finished. Okay, let's start. Let's do number 2. Given that sin A is 3/5 and tan B, again different graphs, is 5/12, where both A and B lies between 90 and 270. Without using a calculator, find the value of. Okay, so the first thing we have to do if we start is we first have to draw the sketches. So I'm going to first find, and I will now find my quadrants. So A, okay, so take, it's 3/, so sin is positive. Okay, now let's just do tan B. Just get my pen correct. Tan B is 5/12. Okay. Now, it's both is between 90 and 270. Now, I have to say, where is sin positive and tan is also. So, in this case, one will be in the second and one will be in the third. Okay, because it can exist anywhere between that. Okay, so let's just make a sketch. Now, I want to take a ruler. Now remember, it's between 90 and 270, meaning that I will block this out. Okay, so where is sin positive? Now, never forget your cast diagram. So this is my cast. Okay, so sin is here negative, but sin is here positive. Okay. Now, if I'm going to work out that angle, it's going to be opposite, do you agree, over hypotenuse. Okay. I will now work out that one. If I'm going to look at this one, where is tan? Tan is negative there, but tan is positive here. So, tan is opposite over adjacent. So let's just fill it in. Opposite over adjacent. Okay. Now, don't forget, although it's positive, but if you think of the x-axis, this is positive and this is actually negative. This is positive up and this is, so a negative divided by a negative is actually going to give me that positive. So always think, not just do. Okay, think. So this is negative, negative, under. Now, in this case, let's just see, this is positive and the radius is always positive. So that one is all right. So now, I can see if I can use this triplets. So it's 3 and 5. So I'm going to use, you can do Pythagorean theorem, but you can find this 4. But again, positive and this there is the negative. Now, let's see, 5 and 12. So what is this one going to be? This one's going to be 13. That radius is always positive. Okay, so I did it without, I was using my triplets, which I memorized. Now, let's start. If I'm starting with number A, so I must first get all 3 sides, and I must really, after I'm this side, I must look positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, and make sure positive, negative. Think of your, there's 0, remember. Positive, negative, and make sure that it's correct there. Okay, now, number A. If I look at number A is going to be sin, and it's A, and now don't forget, I'm back at sin. Can you remember? So sin, and I can even take you back to the formula sheet, and check on your formula sheet. Can you remember sin? Can I show you sin again? So I have to make it a bit bigger. Here it is. Nice. On your formula sheet. So sin, and in this case, it's A minus B. So it's the bottom row. So it's sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. Okay. And then I go to the next. So let's write it down first. So this is going to be sin A cos B minus, okay, and then cos A sin B. And don't forget, as I said, this is graph A and this is graph B. So don't get confused between the two. So sin, so what is sin A? Sin is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's 3 over 5. What is cos B? Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's negative 12 over 13. Okay. What is cos A? Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. And what is sin B? Sin B is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's negative 5 over 13. Okay. And that is going to be, and now I can basically just say this is negative 36 over 65. Keep the negative. This becomes positive. Do you see? That is 20 over 65. And that's negative 56 over 65. And that is my final answer. That's number A. Let's do number B. If I have the sketches, it's very good. It's just good practice to practice compound angles. They will maybe ask it more difficult, and we'll come to that. But just to practice the different formula in this exercises. Okay, let's look at number B. Now, number B, it's cos A plus B. And now don't forget it's cos. So meaning, if you have your formula sheet, and especially in this last 4 chapters, I will reflect a lot at that. So cos, and in this case, it's A plus. Do you see? Then if it's cos, it's the top row, so it's both cos and then minus, opposite signs, and sin. Okay, let's go back. No, still. Okay, so let's start writing it. So it's cos A, cos B, minus sin A, sin B. Okay, and now I start filling it in. Let's go a little bit lower. So cos A, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent over, so it's negative 4 over 5. Cos B is adjacent over hypotenuse, so it's negative 12 over 13, minus sin, with sin A, so it's opposite over adjacent, 3 over 5. Sin B, okay, let's just see sin, it's opposite, remember I'm standing there every time, so it's opposite over hypotenuse, so it's negative 5 over 13. And then it's going to be positive 36 over 65. No, not 36, sorry. Positive 48, thank you for correcting me. Okay, and then it's going to be negative 15 over 65. And then if I'm going to, remember, this is going to become a positive, so it's 48 over 65 plus 15 over 65. And if I add up that two, I'm going to get 63 over 65. And that's going to be, as I said, first scratch C. We will come to, you can actually do C after you did the next videos, but for now, scratch it. I think the order is not correct here.